battlefield.
$2 trillion in annual revenues, 10% of the US economy. If I were to ask you what industry this represents, you might think retail, construction, perhaps manufacturing. The answer is the nonprofit sector. Unfortunately, nonprofits continue to be underserved by our tech community. Many still rely on pen and paper for core processes like scheduling, volunteer tracking, and even donations. Try to envision a consumer-facing company like CVS or Starbucks using pen and paper for its customer loyalty program. Instead, volunteers should be treated no differently than retail customers. Volunteers not only give 6.9 billion hours of service each year, they're also twice as likely to donate and donate 10 times more than non-volunteers. Introducing Civic Champs, a mobile platform that will fundamentally change how nonprofits operate and engage their supporters. Civic Champs provides automated volunteer management by providing 3 different ways for nonprofits to track volunteer hours. A mobile application that uses geofencing technology, a self-service kiosk mode that can be launched on any device, and the administrative feature within the mobile app that allows staff members to check in volunteers on their behalf. And today, we're excited to launch the integrated micro-donations platform that will allow for nonprofits to automatically convert volunteers to donors. Let's go to demo. So Dana, you're the volunteering type. Let's see what your experience would be like at a Habitat for Humanity build.
Especially building.
As Dana shows up at the build site, she receives a notification asking if she's there to volunteer. She confirms she is, which launches a timer. This critical information is used by nonprofits to understand the level of engagement of their volunteers, and is a key impact metric used to share with both foundations and donors. When Dana's done for the day, she checks out and confirms what activity she's done and whether she's part of a group like NEA. She's also able to leave a reflection and give out high fives to the staff at Habitat, which is a fun way to say thank you that she can actually feel on her phone through haptic feedback. Now, Dana, you just had a great experience volunteering. And it's in this moment that you're feeling the most inspired. And so you're given the opportunity to further your support of this organization, and thus solving one of the key missed opportunities of nonprofits, converting volunteers to donors. By leveraging our volunteer data, we can tell nonprofits when to give, how much to give, and what to say. In this example, Dana donates $1 for each hour that she's volunteered. She's able to connect it with her corporate matching account, which then doubles her impact. Imagine if every volunteer was incentivized to do the same. Let's go back to presentation. One thing you might note from what you saw is that it required no work from the Habitat staff. It was simple, easy, and efficient. One question you're often asked, or we're often asked, is who are our competitors? We have 3 buckets of competitors: those that serve nonprofits, those that serve volunteers, and those that serve corporations. Unlike these competitors, Civic Champs has a database and technology architecture that's uniquely built to serve the full market, allowing for seamless data sharing between nonprofits, volunteers, and corporations. Civic Champs is targeting the $1.7 billion CRM market for nonprofits. This grows to $6.3 billion as we add additional features, and $20 billion as we look at adjacent industries such as corporate social responsibility, political campaigns, and donation processing. In the last 5 months, we've gone from launch to serving 34 clients. 100% of this growth has come from word-of-mouth referrals. We expect to hit 200 clients by next April. These clients pay between $25 to $450 a month, and are concentrated near our home offices in Bloomington, Indiana, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home to a combined 38,000 nonprofits in just the surrounding area alone. Pittsburgh is also home to my last two startup companies, Rent Jungle, an apartment search engine, which we sold in 2014, and Community Elf, a social media management agency which served many nonprofits, also sold in 2017. As a team, we have a combined 60 years of experience from places like McKinsey & Company, the United Way, and have attended institutions such as Harvard Business School. So, whether you're a corporation looking to quantify your community impact, or your foundation looking to add to the capacity of your agencies, or you're a nonprofit looking for seamless volunteer management and a way to automatically convert your volunteers to donors, go visit our website, civicchamps.com/disrupt. Let's work together and make a greater impact in our communities. Thank you.
Judges, who's got the first question?
I'll go. So your customer base here is kind of notoriously really disparate, really fractured, and slow, right? Culturally, just they don't make quick decisions quickly. How do you guys, what's the sales process like? How can you sort of efficiently sign up lots of nonprofits?
Yeah, so we've been surprised by that, right? As you saw, in 5 months, we were able to serve 34 clients, which is pretty quick. I think one of the benefits we have is that nonprofits are not competitive, right? So they're able to share, and they're happy to share with each other what works. And so that's been a part of our growth. You're absolutely right that at times, maybe we miss the budget season for XYZ nonprofit, but that's the same for, I think, any other industry, right? Yeah. But I think we do have some benefits in terms of how viral the network is.
I saw a good experience for the volunteer checking in, but what about for the organization trying to figure out, for this event, how many volunteers do I need and who is volunteering, kind of the volunteer management side of it?
Absolutely. So this is only the tip of the iceberg, right? So there's a number of features that we still want to build for the nonprofits, including integrated scheduling, also the ability to curate the experience for both the volunteers, but to your point, also use our data to say, hey, last time you had this many volunteers, but in actuality, when we did the review, it looks like you were short by XYZ volunteers in these activities, right? That's one of the main reasons why we do track the activities that the volunteers do, is to understand later on that whether, from a capacity standpoint, was that enough?
There's already several different features that are within this product. If we were to speak to one of your 34 clients, what would they say are the features that are really addressing their pain points?
I think so we weren't able to show some of the other features such as like the kiosk mode and the ability for administrators to check in volunteers on their own phones. But I think all of that as a combined suite of tools allows for the nonprofits to really use this system or platform in any situation. And so they don't have to resort back to pen and paper. I think that's one of the drawbacks of other platforms is that if you only have a mobile app, right, you have lots of volunteers that don't want to use that. And so we want to make sure that we're able to support sort of this full ecosystem, if you will.
I guess just a quick follow-up. So when they're actually going into the app, where are they mainly spending their time?
Excuse me, say that again?
Within those features, where are they spending their time?
Oh, got it. So for the volunteers, it's actually, they don't spend a ton of time, right? You sort of check in, you check out, you leave your reflections, and that's about it for now. The things that we want to build in the future are curated discovery, which will obviously allow for consumers to spend more time on our app. Most of our administrators, right, where they spend time is really on our web-based dashboard. So that has all the data that you can see, and you can sort of manage your volunteer staff.
Can you tell me more about how the volunteers discover the service to begin with? Is it through the organization? As Bradley said, a lot of these nonprofits have challenges in managing their day-to-day, managing or recruiting the volunteers to begin with. Is there anything that you do to help them actually recruit the users and the volunteers?
Yeah, so they do discover, so volunteers right today discover the app largely through our partner nonprofits that say, hey, could you adopt this system as our new way of sort of tracking our activities and hours. In the future, we do think that this can become a network-based effect business, in that one of the key features that we have is that you can use Civic Champs across different organizations, and so you don't have to have an app for every single nonprofit. And so once we have a little more density within markets, we think this could be a really interesting tool for volunteers to discover places to volunteer, but also allow our clients a bigger platform to sort of recruit from as well.
I saw the way you hooked up the donation to corporate match. A lot of corporations donate per hour of employee volunteering. Do you hook into that and verify that they were there so that you can gather those funds?
Yep, great question. The honest answer is not today, but we absolutely want to do that. Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about how you charge? And then to Dana's earlier question, because a lot of these activities are volunteer run, I can imagine it could be hard to get compliance in terms of teaching, reminding all the people, hey, the way we used to do it was this way, but we want you to switch to this new system, and how much effort you have to put into kind of training the staffs to actually use it.
Sure. So we, for now, we try to learn as much as we can by actually doing a lot of on-site onboarding. And so that's part of the process. I think features like the reminders and notifications really help because that allows then for us to remind someone to say like, hey, it looks like you should log in, can check in, and all that kind of stuff. So that's how we handle the onboarding piece of it and sort of compliance components.
Okay, and how you charge?
Oh, right. So we charge a monthly fee. It's a SaaS model. So $25 to $450 per month is our range for today in terms of our current clients. And it's based on the size of the organization or the number of volunteers that they have.
Okay, thanks.
All right, give it up for Civic Champs.